Hello, good evening, and many joining us. This is your all news channel GBC24. You're also live on Ghana television. Welcome to the news. My name is Akpene Avo Ajaja. In the headlines, NDC to officially outdoor President Mahama as a presidential candidate for 2016. And on the foreign front, landslide in Myanmar kills 90 people. Let's look at the details now. President John Mahama will be declared the NDC's presidential candidate for the 2016 elections. The declaration will be done by the EC at the party's headquarters in Adabraka. The president secured an overwhelming endorsement from thousands of supporters. Our reporter, Barbara Ado, is currently at the NDC headquarters in Adabraka. She now joins us live through the telephone. Hello, Barbara.
Hello, Akene.
Barbara, what is the situation currently at the headquarters?
Okay, we are at the NDC headquarters at Adabraka waiting for the declaration to be made. As at now, some of the executives of the party and some of the party bigwigs are all here. And setting up is going on. We are all waiting for the program to take off.
Okay, do we know the program lineup? What exactly is going to be happening?
There is just to make the declaration. So that's exactly what we are coming to do here, to announce the President Mahama as the person who will be leading the NDC in the 2016 elections.
Okay. Anything else about the parliamentary candidates? Are they also going to be outdoored, or is just the president?
No, it's just the president's endorsement that is going to take place tonight.
Okay. Can you please briefly just describe the atmosphere there as they await the president's endorsement?
There are still some pockets of people around. Supporters of the party are here in their numbers, outside and inside, just waiting for the program to take off. And they say they are anxious to know that the President Mahama has been given 100% endorsement.
Thank you very much, Barbara Ado, my colleague, joining us live from the NDC headquarters in Adabraka, where President John Mahama will be declared the NDC presidential candidate for the 2016 election. Let's move on now. Vote counting is underway in constituencies in the Ashanti, Greater Accra and northern regions where the NDC's parliamentary and presidential elections could not take place yesterday. A total of 14 constituencies voted today, with 12 in the Ashanti region, 1 in Greater Accra and 1 in the northern region. Much focus has been on the Ningo Pram constituency, where veteran MP E.T. Mensah battles it out with Sam George. The internal poll was marred by chaos yesterday following allegations of attacks by both camps, forcing the elections to be suspended. Let's go over now to Ningo Pram and speak to our man on the ground, Maurice Ogbete. Hello, Maurice. Maurice, if you can hear me, where exactly are you and what can you report at the moment?
So we are coming to you live from the Ningo Pram constituency, where it is a battle between the incumbent MP in the person of Honorable E.T. Mensah and the new entrant Sam George. It is also a battle between the people of Ningo and the people of Pram. Sam George hails from Ningo and E.T. Mensah from Pram. And so when you look at the results that the Pram area, whilst Mr. E.T. Mensah is also winning votes in the Pram area. Quickly, I'll run you through some of the results that we have so far. In some few minutes' time, all the polling stations will be coming to the Pram Pram District Police Command for the collation proper to be done. And so these are provisional results I would like to run you by. And so at the New Ningo DA Primary School polling station, Mr. E.T. Mensah, or Honorable E.T. Mensah, who is the incumbent MP, had 33 votes. Now, Sam George also had 282 votes. Let me take it again. New Ningo DA Primary School, E.T. Mensah had 33 votes, while Sam George also had 282 votes. Let's move to Old Ningo Presby School, where Mr. E.T. Mensah had 44 votes. 44 votes for Mr. E.T. Mensah, and Sam George, going away with 144 votes. We are still in the Ningo area. And so we will go to Old Ningo Police Station, where Mr. E.T. Mensah had 18 votes. Mr. E.T. Mensah had 18 votes, and Mr. Sam George also had 128 votes at the Old Ningo Police Station polling station. When we come to Pram Pram, the Town and Country Planning polling station, Mr. E.T. Mensah had 377 votes. 377 votes, and Mr. Sam George had 39 votes. We are in the Pram Pram area now, and so you should understand the dynamics. The Anglican Basic School, still in Pram Pram, we have E.T. Mensah going away with 266 votes. 266 votes, while Mr. Sam George had 57 votes of the total ballot cast. Let's go to South Dowenya, which is still close to Pram Pram, and Mr. E.T. Mensah had 113 votes. 113 votes, while Mr. Sam George had 88 votes. Now, finally, before we go, let's go to La Luekpo. Yeah, I think I got it right. La Luekpo. Mr. E.T. Mensah had 72 votes. Mr. E.T. Mensah had 72 votes, and Mr. Sam George had 70 votes. A very close contest there. I must say that Ningo Pram Pram is peaceful. Everything is going on smoothly. In some few minutes' time, we'll be moving to the district police headquarters, where everything will be collated and the winner will be declared. GBC24 is here making sure that you get to know who the winner of the Ningo Pram Pram constituency when it comes to the NDC side of things is. Let me also say that it's been a fierce contest between the people of Ningo and the people of Pram Pram. According to the people of Ningo, Honorable E.T. Mensah has situated all the development projects in his area, which is Pram Pram, because he is the MP at the moment. These are allegations we can't confirm, but this is what they are saying. And so they want somebody who is coming from their area, in the person of Sam George, who hails from Ningo, to actually win this particular election, so that they also enjoy the goodies that come from government. And so we are still here live on GBC24, making sure that you get the details, making sure that you get the dynamics and you follow the issues when it comes to the Ningo Pram Pram constituency on the side of the NDC. We've been here since morning. We've monitored voting. Voting has gone on peacefully. One of the major issues that has come up is that some people couldn't find their names in the voters register. Some people couldn't find their names in the voters register. But it looks like all of them have agreed. They've put everything behind, and we are at this stage at the moment. We are just hoping that everything goes on smoothly, and Ningo Pram Pram constituency will still be as it is even before the NDC parliamentary elections that took place. And so I'll hand over to you in the studios in Accra.
Thank you so much, my colleague Maurice Ogbete, bringing us live update from Ningo Pram Pram. Let's move on to the central region now, where we are told that police in Cape Coast have arrested some angry youth who attacked the district police station, destroying properties belonging to the police. Let's go over to the phone lines now and speak to our central regional correspondent, Kingsley Nana Buedu. Hello, Kingsley.
Yeah, hello, Apale.
What exactly is responsible for the clashes?
Well, I must say that was Thursday. The police, on their usual swoop operations, arrested more than 37 people in connection with various sort of crimes in Cape Coast here. And as a result, in the course of youth, one person was found dead. And the youth were saying that it is the person that killed one of them. And for that matter, this morning, they organized themselves with machetes, clubs, and so on and so forth. And they marched to the district police station in Cape. When they got there, according to them, they were going to demand the autopsy report from the police as to what killed one of them. And when they got, nobody was there. So they found vehicles and other things there, and they started smashing those vehicles, those belonging to personnel and the station's cars and so on. And more than 10 were destroyed. Again, found one officer there manning the station, so they just brought the person up, they started beating the person, and of course, inflicted some cutlass wounds on the person. So when the police also got hint of it in attack that they are facing, they also came in their numbers and started firing warning shots and other tear gas and so on and so forth. In the course of that, about three of the youth or the angry or irate youth got injured in the course of it, and they also rushed back. So the police also started firing gas and so on and so forth. So they got to town. When they got to town, the youth had already been to town to fish out any police officer that they may find anywhere, especially in the banks and so on and so forth. In my case, I witnessed a situation where the police, the angry youth, wanted to even move into NIB, that's the NIB bank here in Cape Coast, looking for the police officer manning the place so that they would deal with him.
Kingsley, so we've heard from the youth. So what are the police saying? What have you spoken to them? What are they saying?
According to the police, they are not responsible for the death of that person in question. Okay. So, even the operation they are talking about, they were not responsible for it. So, that's what it is. And the police, the youth can attack them that way. Then they are also going to respond to that in measure. Because even if it is a police that is organizing a troop and something like that has happened, that is the youth to drain their anger to them. So we spoke to the police commander that this transport saying, and it was like what the youth did, it's quite unheard of. So they have also arrested some of the youth who in connection with today's situation, and they also are counterpart.
All right, so Kingsley, so how is the area, what's the situation now? Has calm returned to the area? Is everything under control now?
It was just after about 1 hour ago when the member of parliament of Cape Coast South, Ricky Tega, also happened to witness the situation somewhere where tear gas were being fired, went to talk to the police, the youth as well, that calm should return to the place. And so it looks as if tension is still in town. So they have arranged a meeting between the police and the people of Cape Coast at the town hall tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, so that this situation will be resolved. So that is the conclusion they arrived at this night.
Thank you very much, Kingsley. We know you'll be monitoring events and you'll be bringing us updates as and when you get them. Kingsley Nanabwedu is our Central Regional Correspondent, and he's been telling us that police in Cape Coast have arrested some angry youth who attacked the district police station, destroying properties belonging to the police. It's still the news live on your news channel, GBC24 and Ghana Television. In some more stories, the Forestry Commission has launched the first ever Red Eye campaign. Red Eye is a campaign aimed at creating awareness among the youth of Ghana on the need to plant and nurture trees as one of the ways to mitigate climate change. The Red Eye campaign is one of Ghana's key mechanisms to reduce the devastating effects of climate change.
Climate change has become a worldwide situation which is affecting human lives. Deforestation, forest degradation, burning of fossil fuels, improper land use and indiscriminate bush burning are some of the major drivers of climate change affecting our environment. There have been several attempts to arrest these problems and their adverse effects worldwide. In its bid to join the global fight against climate change, the Forestry Commission launched a Reducing Emissions from Deforestation and Forest Degradation Red Eye campaign to help reduce the impacts of climate change, particularly here in Ghana. The youth were made aware of their vital role in forest conservation. The assistant manager in charge of the National Red Secretariat, Mr. Kwame J., stressed on the need for the environment to be protected. He also urged all the youth to come on board the Red Eye campaign so that it can achieve its purpose.
If climate change is happening and it's having huge negative impact on all of us, we are compromising the future of these young people. So the Secretariat thought it wise that if you really want to create awareness, then the key people we should target is the young people. And that is the essence of the launch of the Red Eye.
Speaking to GBC24, Ochame Kwame, who is one of the ambassadors for the Red Eye campaign, said it is important to live in a serene environment.
What I am going to do is to target the middle, the youth, and then get them to plant trees using interesting and intricate sponsorship packages.
The campaign will ensure that forests continue to play their natural roles, which include absorption of excess carbon dioxide and other gases in the atmosphere in order to prevent the dangerous warming of Earth, which also leads to climate change.
The Church of Christ Spiritual Movement has inducted Reverend Dr. Dan Markin into office as its new leader. This means Reverend Dan Markin is the head of the highest governing body of the church. The event was marked under the theme, Letting the Word of God and the Holy Spirit Reign. This signifies the opening of a new chapter in the church's life.
Higher education has become a part of the globalization process. Thus, teaching and learning cannot be viewed strictly within the confines of a national boundary. In 2009, more than 3.4 million students were studying outside their home countries. UNESCO projects this to rise to 7 million by 2020. The president of the Accra Institute of Technology, Professor Clement Jidonu, says courses being pursued under higher education are now more generic and not necessarily tailored to match the specific interest of particular jurisdictions.
The USA is the world's largest magnet for international study, accounting for 26% of all students study abroad, with UK following far behind with 9.6%. The USA earned $14 billion of the $28 billion of educational export in 2009. So the US earned half of the total money made from international students in 2005.
The Secretary General of the Association of African Universities, Professor Etienne Ehil, gave a new dimension to the discussions, arguing that there is an inextricable connection between higher education and socio-economic development of nations.
One direct contribution of higher education to development is through producing graduates who can then be employed in professions, the public sector, business and industry, and contribute to knowledge application, innovation, and increased productivity.
This year's African Universities Day celebration is on the theme, Internationalization of Higher Education.
And we sincerely apologize for the wrong insert then. That story is about the Association of African Universities having urged institutions of higher learning to adopt innovative strategies to improve on the continent's education. The president of the Accra Institute of Technology, Professor Clement Jidonu, said there has been a growth in student mobility over the last decade, almost 50% increase in the number of students studying in some country other than their own. Now, let's go back to our earlier story where the Church of Christ Spiritual Movement has inducted Reverend Dr. Dan Markin into office as its new leader.
The Church of Christ Spiritual Movement was founded in 1958 and has propagated the gospel across the globe. The ceremony was held to induct Most Reverend Dr. Daniel Markin into office as the new leader of the church. Also inducted was the new head pastor of the church, Apostle Essel. Members of the Spiritual Council of the Church were also inducted to oversee the running of the church. They took an oath and pledged allegiance to the church and their leader to discharge their duties honorably to the glory of God. In solidarity messages, the new leaders were urged to serve the Lord with humility and dedication. The new leader, Apostle General Daniel Markin, said he was very happy with the position given him to serve the Lord in a special capacity. Apostle General Daniel Markin is a businessman and a politician who has played several roles in national affairs and seeks to efficiently steer the affairs of the church successfully.
You're watching the news live on your All News channel, GBC24. We're also live on Ghana Television. We have some more stories coming up shortly. Don't go away. On the international front, a landslide at a jade mine has killed at least 90 people in northern Myanmar. The victims were buried when a vast heap of waste material discarded by the mining companies collapsed in Kachin State. Many of the dead were scavengers living on or near the waste dumps who searched through the debris in the hope of finding fragments of jade to sell. The state of Kachin produces some of the best jade in the world. The landslide happened in the early hours of Sunday, and there are reports of dozens more missing. A huge rescue operation is underway with the Myanmar Red Cross, the army, police and local community groups all at the scene trying to dig people out of the earth. In sports, five-time African club champions TP Mazembe have won the maiden edition of the Mo Ibrahim Foundation Africa Unity Cup. They beat Ghana's Dream Team by 3-1. The match was aimed at showcasing African talents as well as using football as a tool for promoting unity. They picked the glittering trophy at stake. Here are highlights of the game. To the Ashanti region now, where the Asante Hene Otumfuo Tutu has urged sports journalists to put the spotlight on the less funded sporting disciplines in the country. Otumfuo was addressing officials of the Sports Writers Association of Ghana, SWAG, and the State Insurance Company, SIC, at his Menchia Palace in Kumasi.
The visit to Menchia Palace in Kumasi by officials of the Sports Writers Association of Ghana, SWAG, and the State Insurance Company, SIC, was to officially invite the king to this year's SIC Nyamitai SWAG Cup match. The match will be played between Ash Gold and Asante Kotoko at the Barbara Sports Stadium on November 29. Otumfuo said to encourage the newly elected SWAG officials to work hard to champion the cause of the sports journalist.
I think Kosoni, Bebama sports and so new football. Various aspects of it, athletics, and they come home paper. I was someone when you sports writers, now I'm enhancing in a no boy. I say a call Olympics near Ghana and Tim could be cannon so. Alisa no United to make a maya boy didn't come. I feel that the boxing Krazuma Nelson near I quoted Munyanaba and said they say quite near Terry. Nininaye said the embassy actually a quite fast one. A man called training facilities near you. There was a more body, stadiums, one a first one. One sports writers, I come. One a first one, the maintenance near me. And say making car baby as a black star for the Brancomo training as a park in Nefu. Will be on sports writers, they also mommy.
The president of SWAG, Mr. Kobnaibwa, said executives of the association are doing their best to strengthen the Nyamitai Cup competition to put clubs in good shape before the league starts. SIC presented a check for 10,000 Ghana cedis to the Otumfuo Educational Fund and presented a 5,000 Ghana cedis personal accident insurance policy cover to the Asante Hene.
We'll be right back. An entertainment segment. The Eastern Region branch of the Center for National Culture has organized its maiden Ghanaian traditional cuisine and drink contest in Kofodia. The program is a way of promoting the preparation and consumption of local dishes in homes and restaurants to promote the Ghanaian culture. The underlying objective is to help promote healthy lifestyle for a longer lifespan.
The traditional cuisine and drink contest was themed Enjoying Our Local Foods for Healthy Lifespan. It was organized to promote the preparation and consumption of Ghanaian dishes at homes, restaurants, schools, and at public gatherings, and also to promote the Ghanaian culture. 4 churches and a Muslim organization which took part in the competition prepared 5 local dishes. At the end of the 1.5-hour cooking competition, the Federation of Muslim Women Association, which prepared plantain and palava sauce, placed 5th, while St. Peter's Anglican Church, which prepared eto, placed 4th. The Church of Pentecost cooked akrakro and bean stew and was 3rd, followed by the Ascension Presbyterian Church, which prepared apapansa and was 2nd. The overall winner was the Assemblies of God Church. The members prepared kokonte and groundnut soup. The acting director of the Eastern Region Center for National Culture, Reverend Stephen Ebokese, spoke about the rationale for the program.
We have spoiled our food and culture to the extent that even palm oil that is mostly produced from here in the Eastern Region has been contaminated with drugs to make it more red.
The chairman of the program, who is also the head of news of the GBC Sunrise FM, Mr. Kwamena Onuma, was not happy with how Ghanaian culture is being smoothed by foreign cultures.
I hope that this program will serve as an eye-opener for us here to change from westernization to Africanization, so that we do patronize our own made in Ghana goods and also inculcate the cultural norms into our children for them to understand why this name, why that name, why this festival, why this, so that at the end of it, this cultural heritage will never be forgotten.
Thank you, Felicity, for that update, and thank you at home for watching us. Coming up shortly is Talking Point, and we are discussing the NDC primaries.